What's up, gamers? Welcome back to Eden's Garden.
Hello.
Which,
Hello.
if you rearrange the letters, Eden's Garden is an anagram of Danganronpa.
Is it?
Is it?
No.
Oh.
I
I
you're a
feel lied
liar?
to. You're the ultimate liar.
The ultimate liar, Danganronpa doesn't have an S in it. That was your first. That was your first hint.
There's no G. Yeah, wait, there is a G.
It has a lot of the other letters, so it's like, wait a minute. It could.
Danganronpas.
Doesn't have an R in it. Yeah, it does. Danganronpa. Maybe they just add the S.
Wait. Danganronpa doesn't even have an E. You liar.
Cancelled.
Got him.
Wow, I feel betrayed. He's the
Good.
imposter. He's the blackened.
Now you're
Kill him.
ready for Danganronpa, where you can't trust anybody.
Oh.
Well then, here we go. I think we read this at the end of the last one, but I don't remember what happened, so good catch up. The victim is... Or no, I think we stopped here because I was like, well, I'm not going to remember what happened next time, so... This might have been foresight on my part. The victim...
I believe it.
I was like, we're not going to... Like, I'm not going to know what's going on, so... Best to save this part for the beginning. So the victim is Kara Koskinen, the ultimate teacher's aide. Damn, could never become a teacher. Doomed to always be a teacher's aide.
Sad life.
She was
Animation.
She was stabbed in the torso 28 times.
28? Why is there a gun beside her?
Yeah, why didn't she use that to defend herself? The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. The most notable burns are to her eyes and scalp. Sounds like a pretty not fun death.
Was she like sniffing chemicals?
She was huffing paint.
She was huffing paint, and then the chemicals exploded in her face, on her scalp and eyes, or someone poured them on her, then stabbed her. And then there was an unused assault rifle.
That's me when I sniff Sharpies.
Oh boy. Cause of death is blood loss. Time of death is unknown. There's a lot going on here, not to mention the gun. Chemical burns in addition to 28 stab wounds? Jesus. I don't want to believe anything the speaker guy says, but this murder really is based on true events. Damn. The killer is totally sick in the head. We got tablet as evidence. Alright. Strange painting. Jet Dawson. Did you catch the look on Kai's face before he ran away? Dude was about to puke. Guess the whole thing got the better of him. Yeah, it's a really gruesome sight. I swear on my dragster that I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I don't make a habit of running to dead bodies, but still, you know? At the end of the day, it's just some puppet. It can't be any worse than a Halloween decoration. Where have you been trick-or-treating, Wolf Creek Crater? A discovery like this would traumatize anyone. Well, almost anyone. I'm fairly thick-skinned. He's clearly not in the right headspace for an investigation. I should just ignore him. But also, talking to him again would be a waste of my time. There's Violet in the corner, hiding
God, hey,
behind a
Violet.
pillar.
What's up?
What's up, gamers? I can't believe this is happening. I'm just a dummy. It'll all be fine. It's really stupid.
She's clearly having a moment. Not something I want to deal with right now. I doubt she's in the mood to talk. there's a run button. I sure forgot what it was. Hopefully shift.
What's up? Dot, dot, dot.
Hey, are you investigating?
What does it look like I'm doing? No.
I'll take that as a no. Boy, everybody's so helpful in this game.
What do you want?
It's just the same dialogue. Alright. Okay, yeah, shift is run. Ulysses was scribbling something down in his notebook. Curious. Corporate television can barely create convincing corpses, so how does one wind up here? What does that mean? He finished what he was writing and lowered the book from his face. You see, convincingly realistic mannequins like this one are real, but rare. It's cheaper, albeit clunkier, to recreate a body using special effects, but that's obviously not the case here. Somehow, we have a mannequin indistinguishable from a real human. Our captors must not be tight on money. They could produce an amazing TV show, certainly. A reality TV show. Nah. It couldn't possibly. A lot of money has been spent setting this crime scene up. The props are above industry standard. Perhaps some large studio is behind this. So this is based on a real case. I barely know the girl, and yet I feel horrible. I've had my fair share of grievances, but nothing like what she would have endured. I'd do anything to get back to my ship, even if I had to live through a never-ending storm. John seems to be missing. Seems to miss being out at sea. I guess I can't blame him. I want to be anywhere but here right now. Oh, wonder how my crewmates are holding up without me. Our captors gave us a lot of information about this victim. To their credit, what's written on the tablet seems accurate, but they should inspect the body just in case. Damn it. It's just a doll, Damon. Stop hesitating. The doll was slumped against the door, her torso soaked in blood. Parts of her shirt had been ripped open, exposing bits of bloody, indiscernible pulp. Oh. I quickly took a step back, trying to control my breathing to avoid throwing up. It's just a doll. There's no reason to be afraid of a doll.
Unless.
This comes to life. The girl's been stabbed repeatedly. I don't need the tablet to know that. However, her cause of death. You'd think it was a stab to the heart or something, but the tablet claimed blood loss. Taking a closer look, the wounds, they didn't seem excessively deep. At least, not deep enough to pierce her heart. If she died from blood loss, what does that say about the killer? They probably could have killed her quickly if they wanted. Did they want her to suffer a slow death? Damn, this is messed up. Guess she gave him a bad grade or something.
Uh-oh.
Her hands were surprisingly clean, all things considered. You know, minus the blood. There were no other marks or injuries. Apart from her nails, it looked like there was dried blood underneath them. Why was there blood under her nails, but not on the rest of her hand? Oh. Scratching at the attacker? Yeah. Bloody knife. A bloody knife lay next to the victim. It's safe to say that this must be the murder weapon. Oh, there is blood on the gun. The initial sight of the doll shocked me so much I completely overlooked this rifle. Inspecting it now, I realized something. If the victim was stabbed, why was a rifle near her body? That rifle. Could you step back a bit? I'm curious about something. What? No, I'm... Before I could finish my sentence, John walked over to where I was and picked up the gun. Hey, you're messing with the crime scene. Ignoring me, he released the magazine of the gun with surprising ease. Eh? From the top of the magazine protruded a loaded bullet. Huh, that's interesting. This rifle hasn't even been used. Definitely a dangerous thing to have around. I'll put it down and guard it so nobody gets any smart ideas. Better than him holding it. Damn, a loaded gun. What was going on in the killer's head? Why bring a gun to the crime scene and not even use it? Unless that gun was purely for intimidation. It's not very logical, but it'd be a twisted game to play with the victim. That seemed to be all the evidence. Nothing else was catching my eye. I should check the inside of the closet now. Let me out of here. Yes. Janitor's closet. Like the rest of the building, the inside of the closet was old and dilapidated. It was the last place I'd want to dig through, but I had to gather as much evidence as possible. Otherwise, I won't be able to present a strong argument.
Oh gosh, what did I give her the last one? Oh, she sounded like Ash, I think. Hey, check out what's behind this door.
Saying that, she stepped away from the corner. It's a ladder. Doesn't seem like there's anything strange about it. What was this brought to my attention again?
I'm disappointed in you.
Huh?
You call that thing a ladder? It's so obviously a step ladder.
Ace Attorney all over again. Aren't they practically the same thing?
No, that's wrong. Wait, no, that's not attorney. Objection!
Objection! I have to agree with Miss Amber. Everyone knows an ace investigator must record his evidence as accurately as possible. That's certainly what the victim would want.
The victim's not real.
Victim's been dead for 100 years.
Blah. A guy that doesn't get my references is no fun to be around. I'm gonna check on the peeps outside. Smell you later, lawyer man.
She's already out of here? Did she even investigate anything besides that stupid ladder?
There might be more clues around here. I'm going to check this entire closet for evidence.
No thanks. A person like her is probably more likely to cause a murder, not solve one.
How rude.
That's not nice.
You're the ultimate liar. Alright, have fun with that.
What animal do you think she is?
Thought she was a crow.
Oh, yeah. Forgot.
She's got a little chicken badge. She's the chicken.
I'm going to check this entire closet for evidence. There might be something hidden in plain sight.
Okay. We must make every effort to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible. Not for the sake of entertaining the people who kidnapped us, but for the sake of the victim. After all, this was based on a real murder, was it not? That was what the tablet said, though I'm still skeptical about the validity of that statement. We must make every effort to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible. Yeah. Alright, what's on this shelf? The shelf was packed with an assortment of towels. I briskly inspected them, lifting each towel to check for anything underneath. And he had gathered dust, but that was it. Nothing looked suspicious about them. A bucket of acid? It's a bucket. Pretty typical thing to find inside it. Huh?
A vat of fake acid.
Fake acid or real acid?
No, fake acid. From Rick and Morty.
Oh. Pretty typical thing to find inside Janitor's closet. But why is it randomly lying here? There's nothing inside it.
You just casually find vats of acid on the floor in a janitor's closet?
Apparently. Yeah, all the time. There's nothing inside it. Except... What is the smell? It smelled like bleach? Definitely not the bucket of acid dropped on her. He put that over the door. She walked in, fell on her head. She went, ah, and got shanked 28 times.
But then why the blood under her nails? And why the gun?
You're right. These are the mysteries. Clock? Huh. There's a clock above the door. Doesn't seem like it works. Looks like that's everything around here. I should check out the other end of the room.
This is a big closet.
Yeah.
I checked all the containers on the shelf. They're all full, with the exception of one. Bottle of bleach.
Bleach? Huh. There's a bucket in this closet that reeked of it.
And that's probably not a coincidence, given this thing's supposed to emulate a real crime scene. Crazy how much effort's been put into this.
I can't think too much about what kind of situation we're in, or I'll never be able to handle it.
Yeah, there's an empty bottle of bleach sitting on the shelf. It's definitely weird. Gotta keep it in mind.
Alright. Winona Ryder.
That security camera, it's brand new.
Now she mentioned it, it does look out of place. You think it would have gathered dust like the other items in here. Did it recently get cleaned or something?
My company's headquarters have similar ones installed, except these cameras are even more high-tech. Typical school, spending more money on security than educating their students.
That's assuming this is even the Academy's doing.
The rest of the room is a pigsty, and then there's a high-tech security camera. Talk about reckless investments.
Can it really be chalked up to that?
These shells are real intriguing. Take a look. Some of the cleaning brands go as far back as the 80s and 90s.
You recognize them?
'Cause I use them.
Why would you do that?
Old chemicals do the job better, since there were fewer regulations about what's poisonous and all that. Just don't ask where I got them. Don't want to alert the fuzz.
I'm sure they don't care about her black market cleaning supplies.
Can't wait to tell the folks at home about my find.
Better give them some context first, otherwise they're gonna have questions. Alright. Camera.
Ma.
Yeah, that's what I
Camera.
tried clicking on. It wasn't doing anything. It's another surveillance camera. Is the guy on the speaker watching us through this? Just the thought made my stomach turn. It's Monokuma.
Monokuma.
Alright, everyone, that's time.
Yeah, they didn't let me look at the mop or nothing.
Look at you all. You investigated the crime scene so well. It's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Jokes aside, please meet by the elevator for the class trial. You should find it somewhere around the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long. I might start getting zap happy. See you soon.
So long, farewell.
Class trial.
Nobody says that. What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know.
What the hell does that mean? Sounds like that's the end of our investigation. If we're done with this closet, we should go outside and talk to the others.
Oi, what the hell is this class trial?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Obviously, we're going to court.
Court?
He's going to put us on trial? Maybe that's where we'll talk about the clues we found.
It makes sense for our current situation. Investigations, clues, files. What else could that stuff be for?
Good point. It does seem oddly similar to court procedures. Obviously, we're missing key suspects and witnesses, but they don't seem to be relevant to this case anyway.
He mentioned that the elevator was near the Tree of Ignorance, right? He must be referring to the room with the tree.
Probably, yeah. It's the only thing I can think of. However, I don't recall seeing an elevator anywhere.
What are we waiting for? Let's get our butts over there.
She keeps treating this like a dumb game. If we're really going on trial, that's going to be a nuisance to deal with.
Oh, we might as well follow her.
One by one, everyone left. I guess I have no choice but to go as well.
Time to
Duel. They're gonna remaster Yu-Gi-Oh! GX
Ayo.
for the anniversary, apparently. I'm
Yeah,
like,
give me Chaz.
so I'm like, remaster an anime? Like what, you just make it look better?
Maybe they'll do what they did with Naruto and just like reanimate some of the scenes.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I'm like, now you gotta get all Jaden's cards.
Jaden X Chaz, obviously the OTP.
The Elemental Hero deck.
Why do you remain so stoic at a time like this? Aren't you worried at all?
No, not really. It's not like we're investigating some high-stakes murder. It's just a dummy. That's it.
Yes, quite. I completely concur.
She's obviously faking it. Without even looking at her face, I can tell she's sweating bullets. Tree room. Boy, I wonder where the elevator is. Definitely not that huge opening in the tree. When I arrived at the tree, I saw that people were already bickering.
Big tree. Eden's Garden Academy? Overused religious symbolism is tight.
I really hope we get let out after this. Can you confirm, liar check?
Huh? Why asking her?
Come off the grass. She's clearly faking her talent.
And that makes her one of the bad guys?
Who would want to fake their identity besides someone with a secret to hide? I bet she's the one who brought that gas bomb to the train.
And she didn't think to bring a mask? To avoid passing out or whatever? If all you needed was a mask to protect you, then...
Hey, don't look at me. I literally passed out. This helmet's got plenty of holes in it. I'd suffocate otherwise.
No, the liar chick's totally sus. Look how calm she's been acting. She somehow knew the dead body was a dummy then. She poked it in the face. That's not normal.
I told you, it was my intuition.
Intuition my ass.
It's not unbelievable. My gut told me we should inspect the doll. Now look at us. We're on a mission to solve her murder.
Where's the elevator supposed to be again? In that giant tree in the middle?
That's right. There's meant to be an elevator around here. But all I see is the tree of ignorance. Maybe
You're
we're
pretty ignorant yourself.
Maybe we're missing something here. Yeah, or maybe we're being played for fools. Couldn't be tree. The more I look at it, the more confused I am. Duh. I'm gonna get a headache. I better stop. Just don't make any sense. A class trial, huh?
That liar chick is definitely hiding something. No matter how much you morons deny it, it's the truth. The Tree of Ignorance. This reminds me of an exhibit I saw in London.
That's certainly random.
Well, it was a very memorable exhibit.
No, the London thing. Were you on vacation?
A vacation? No, I don't do much of those anymore.
Why is that?
Inconsequential. Nevertheless, London was one of the nicer places to visit. Even if it was only for a few days, I really enjoyed meeting everyone there.
There's no way she would have met everyone in London in a few days. That's baloney. Okay.
My mom will be so worried when I don't answer her calls. Accepting that letter was the worst mistake of my life.
Once this is all over, I think I'll allow myself a nap. Trying to balance Have everyone take turns. That golfer woman made some loaded accusations, huh?
People can believe what they want about me. In the meantime, I'm going to search for the elevator.
Alright then. Holy cow, wait, Discord's going off. 7 notifications. Whose turn was it next?
Probably
It was
me.
you.
And I thought I'd finally have a normal school experience. Nobody's gonna believe this. Well, they might believe you guys, but the whole world's just gonna laugh at me. This sucks.
He definitely has an inflated view of himself. There's gotta be an elevator somewhere around here. Maybe it's hidden behind some kind of crud. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's called fucking awesome. It's called fucking. Yeah, not funny, dude. Well, are you going to help?
This is stupid.
Is that his attempt at an excuse?
Is there really an elevator around here? Seems kind of hard to believe. Wouldn't that sort of thing be pretty difficult to, hide?
This will definitely be a story to tell the folks back home.
Hey, don't look so down. Even though some things may seem uncertain at moments, try not to let it get to you. You should wear a big smile. Smiling always makes me feel better.
Thanks for the advice.
New objective, find the elevator. It can't be that hard, can it? Come on, let's investigate. Let's just get this over and done with.
Whatever this class trial entails, if we want to overcome it, we gotta work as a team. Jumping down each other's throats will get us nowhere. Alright, I'm gonna assume the secret switch is this statue right here. At the base of the tree was a marble bust depicting a figure in a creepy mask. There were cracks all over the mask, and one of the eyes was even missing. How old must this thing be?
You notice the statue too, don't ya?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
What's up with the statue?
There's definitely something whack about it. I just can't put my finger on what. The mask is broken. There's a piece missing.
Is that weird? The statue's probably, super old. Makes sense it'd be cracking and stuff.
No, This definitely seems intentional.
Like, it's crappy on purpose?
Even so, it's not relevant to the elevator, is it?
Well, you know... Maybe if we find the piece and place it back on the statue, something will happen, like a puzzle-solving game.
That sounds kind of far-fetched, but wouldn't hurt to try.
You saying we gotta look around for the other part of the mask? Ree! Hold on to your butts, cause I got the eyes of a predator.
I
I wouldn't admit to that.
You want to rephrase that sentence, dude? It's not a competition. Never mind.
With that, everyone started to search the tree again. Some people inspected the tree itself while others scoured around it. After what seemed like only a few minutes, Grace stood up frantically with something in her hand.
Oh, wait, everyone, I found it.
We gathered around Grace to see what she was holding.
Nice. That must be it.
What should we do with it? Do we just stick it back in the mask?
Probably, yeah. I'll take care of it.
Back off, Hercules. You ain't the one who found it.
Grace brought the piece over to the statue and slotted it right into the mask. And then, nothing happened.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
Suddenly, the ground we were standing on began to shake.
Oh, golly!
Are we about to die? Whoa, what a surprise! Plot twist.
Oh my god.
Who would have guessed?
The real twist would have been like the entire tree went into the ground and then just the door part was left. What?
Yo, I was right!
Wait, did the crow painting always have blood in it?
You think? I
Thought
think
so.
so?
Okay. That actually worked.
A fucking secret passageway in a tree. I never thought I'd see that.
You're kind of dumb, Damon.
A tree of knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The tree of ignorance emulates the wonder of nature, but does not achieve it. And justly so, for ignorance often aspires to be seen as wisdom.
Oh god, now he's just spitting random philosophy. We're so fucked. Will this take us to the elevator?
There's stairs at the foot of the opening. What are we waiting for? Let's explore!
We're so cooked.
Why this sudden rush?
I want to get home, duh. If we get this over with, we'll get it out quicker. It's simple math.
Fair enough.
So we just walk in, do we?
One by one, we approached the opening of the tree and descended into the darkness. This... who's Cassidy? I don't remember.
This is an elevator!
I see. The elevator is underneath the tree.
Russ, like a reckless investment, I'm telling you.
With a rumble, the elevator began its descent. We stood in silence, 16 worried strangers plummeting into the unknown. That's what we were, after all. Random people thrown into this horrible place. And for what? Some twisted man's game? A fake crime scene, an investigation, a creepy statue, an elevator and a tree? None of this was the work of your average kidnapper. This was something much bigger, and in no way could it be connected to Eden's Garden Academy. The elevator began to slow, snapping me out of my thoughts. I stood up tall, and when movement stopped completely, the doors opened. In front of us was a large circular hall supported by marble pillars. In the center of the room, 16 podiums had been arranged into a circle. Were those for us?
Welcome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the elevator ride, even if it was a bit quick. As you can see, this is the trial room. Each podium has a name on it. Find your designated podium and stand there until I give out further instructions.
And if we don't comply?
Then I'll zap you, of course.
Not the zapping shit again.
Just face it, Miss Madison. We have to go along with his demands.
Looks like there's a few smart ones in the pack, eh? Well, come along now. We don't have all day.
There was no avoiding it. We had to assume our places. Scanning the faces around me, everyone wore similar expressions. Discomfort, anger, worry. It didn't end. We've been kidnapped and forced to play as pawns in some inane game. No free will, no choice in our actions. All we could do was move forward. We had to hope for an escape. A way to run from this twisted place. We had to solve this murder case. Prologue. Vows created by Stitches and Needles. View trinket. Okay, got the tablet, murder weapon, random gun, bucket of acid, blood under nails. Just 5 truth bullets to keep track of. Easy.
She was definitely scratching at something with blood.
And one of them has a scar on their face, but I think that's too obvious.
One of the characters?
I can't remember. I feel like someone has a scar on their face.
Hercules.
Probably.
Class trial.
Maybe she was like trying to claw her eyes out because it got in her eye, right?
That's true.
I don't know. Were there bloodstains from her eye?
Her forehead, I think, was covered with some.
Yeah,
No,
acid burns on the scalp and her eyes.
and her eyes.
Let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial. The objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place. Using evidence you gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out. That's all there is to it. Have fun, everybody!
Somebody get me out of here.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
Get me out of here. Get me out. 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 Get me out of here. Somebody get me out of here.
Zzz.
What happened to her?
Oh, shoot! They fried her brain!
Calm down. It's only a shock. She won't suffer any permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain-dead bicker, I'd just turn on the telly.
British Monokuma.
On that note, please carry on.
Holy shit. The people running this thing aren't playing around.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this
By the way, can I, get a seat with this thing? I'm just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair. You're seriously not going to contribute? What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
Yeah, who murdered the dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
But, Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
And I don't have to.
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway. These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive at the wrong conclusion. Non-stop debate. Okay, what are the buttons? Got the truth bullets. Aim your mouse and right-click to fire. Okay. Gold is weak spots. Careful. Use the truth bullet. Things fly by too fast. Use spacebar to concentrate. Circle bullets, fast forward. View truth bullets, controls. Okay, so spacebar slows it down. Q changes which bullet, or I can use the rolly thing. Okay. Silencer and shoot. Okay. F3 to revisit controls. Non-stop debate.
Whoop whoop.
Assault rifle. The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
True.
Is that true?
Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
Didn't get a good look at the crime scene. But the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary gun.
That's right, there was a gun. But she got stabbed, though.
You hear that, lawyer man? She agrees.
The loudest voices in the room aren't always the smartest. Fortunately, an uninformed argument is never difficult to shoot down. Okay, so we'll shoot gun with assault rifle because it proves that it wasn't the murder weapon. Oh, wait, no, we shoot that.
Yeah, right?
I thought so.
I finished talking.
Damn it, I shouldn't have said that. Why does if shooting gun with assault rifle is the answer, that seems weird to me. Shooting murder weapon, that would make more sense. Yeah, and this is the only bullet we have. Okay. So the murder weapon was... Shift fast forwards. What could have spilled that blood? Besides that big scary gun. No, that's wrong. It wasn't the gun. It was the assault rifle. Cassidy, can you stop butting in? You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Whoa, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
Alright, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
That's easy. It wasn't. Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity. Any smart shooter could tell you that, right, Desmond?
Why are you bringing me into this?
Except the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If a gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw neither at the crime scene.
Details. If the gun didn't do that chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
The actual murder weapon? That's obvious. Trying to spell knife?
Kniff.
Kniff. Got it! It was the kniff. The bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Blah. Why is Occam's razor gonna ruin everything?
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Kinda weird choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade. If the killer didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet?
Don't see why you'd be storing a gun in the janitor's closet.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Of course it's related. It's covered in blood.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
This debate is getting out of control fast. I need to say something. Non-stop debate. Tablet. To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yeah, they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
Bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic. It's easy to assume the killer was the one holding the gun, but considering the details of the victim's death, I'm inclined to think otherwise. So, tablet.
Was the only yellow thing the killer? Or was there another yellow thing?
Good question. I was like, I did not pay attention. I was just trying to pause the dialogue for you guys. But the bar runs out so fast. I was like, I guess we'll shoot the first yellow thing. Bam.
Yeah, the killer.
No, that's wrong.
Killer's escaping.
Stop that thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun, we'll end up running in circles.
What? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed with the knife. The reason they didn't use the gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then who did?
Easy. The victim. Whoa, the dummy had the gun? If it wasn't the killer, it has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet. She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something? Huh? The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct? If so, why didn't she shoot them?
A stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
The girl must have been killed before she had the chance to defend herself.
That's not technically true.
Eh?
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer. Specifically, evidence that shows the victim attempted to fight back. Victim's hands. I got it! We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker. Of course, no explanation is definitely without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened. Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
Did something get in the way of her using it? Probably the acid.
Yeah, maybe the acid that
Like-
fell in her eyes.
Or the acid that was burning her top of her head and eyes.
Oh,
so
yeah,
maybe
that
somebody
guy.
was hiding in a closet and then they walked in, the bucket dropped on top of her, and then they stabbed her from the front.
Good old acid blind attack. Then she drops the gun, goes, ah! And then starts shanking her, and then she starts scratching at what's in front of her. But
why
it's
was
too
she
late.
carrying the gun?
She was... because they were in the Hunger Games.
This isn't the Hunger Games, though.
This is the Hungry Hippo Games.
This is Danganronpa.
Was
That's
she
what they
trying
want
to
you to
kill
think.
somebody?
Yeah, maybe they're in a killing game. So she
Maybe they wanted to like ambush?
seems a little derivative of a little thing called Danganronpa Trial 1, where a
Never heard of
person
them.
planned attack and then the tables were turned.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never Danganronpa 1 trial.
Never ever. Wonder if that killer stole it from her. We definitely don't have a video on YouTube where we watched the first 6 episodes.
I never played it. She should have seen or heard them coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happened, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fighting started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
If that happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor? Or in the hallway?
Drag marks? Can't say I saw any.
Right, it was merely a jest. No need to take it seriously.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they'd want to do that, but it explained the lack of drag marks. But then wouldn't the killer have been covered in
Blood? Aye, it should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was.
Yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
Moving on.
That fight. The victim had a gun, but she was overpowered.
If she wanted to, she could have just, you know...
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
There must be something we're missing. Something explains how the victim was overpowered. And I know I'm the only one who can figure that out. Agree points. Okay. You can use truth bullets to correct it. Simply aim it and shoot. Okay.
What we're not talking about is why did someone kill a dummy?
Why'd they kill a dummy?
And was it even a dummy? Because why was it bleeding? And why did it have scratch marks? Like, how would it have moved and burned?
Yes. Those are good points. How do I change my bullets? Okay.
How many bullets do we have?
We just have bucket and tablet. And oops, I forgot.
It sounds of it. Those two did have a crazy tussle. But she still carried a gun. So, why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them coming.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend.
I wouldn't hurt a friend. Uh-huh. She tried clawing their eyes out.
Why did the victim not shoot her attacker? Everyone's got a theory, but who has the actual answer?
That slammy killer pulled a fast one. And knocked the gun out of her hands.
Okay, and then that's where you
Sounds
start
of it, those
reading.
two did have a crazy tussle.
Okay, so knock the gun out of the hand. So I guess bucket might be, but that girl didn't even see them coming. I agree with that. She didn't see it coming because the bucket of acid blinded her. It's one of those where it's like, you're not supposed to know that yet. Appreciate the support, but you're not talking any sense, mate. Now even the pirate is scolding me. What was I thinking? Yeah, wait a minute. So, tablet. Victim was this. Victim suffered chemical burns to the head. Okay, so I used the tablet to agree with the scene thing. Because they don't...
because the bucket is just the bucket. It's not like the stuff inside of it.
Yeah. Okay. Tablet. Shift.
Do we have any killer theories?
Well, we're not supposed to be guessing the killer, right? It's just how they died.
Yeah, they were like...
Oh, okay.
They were like, we already know who the killer is. And I'm like... We don't even know... I agree with that. We don't even know who anybody was in this case. They're like... Yeah, they showed the picture of the default killer from, like, the Danganronpa games.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, you already know who the killer is, but they didn't, like, really show us. It was just some... Yeah. John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on. According to the tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face and eyes. A sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the burns.
That was in the bucket.
Yep.
Blinded with bleach? That's horrible.
But I was too far ahead. Now they're going to be like, but how did bleach get on her? And we'll be like, it was the bucket.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back. She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds. Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The past is in the past, and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, I
mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No, not yet.
Seriously?
But we've already discussed so much.
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case? Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This is never about the dummy.
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
So who, what, where, when, and why?
As in, the motive?
Mm-hmm. You're on the right track.
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name. What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, 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 hold the phone.
Grace?
Well,
What?
I began.
Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean. Watching you guys try and solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire. I guess all that smoke must have clouded your vision, because there's a big-ass elephant in the room.
An elephant in the room? That's giving us too much credit.
So the killers incapacitated that girl. She got a gun. It makes total sense. Problem is, you get to explain how he used the bleach.
Bucket.
Whoa.
Anyway.
I mean, I feel like we figured that out.
It's the
I sort of
bucket.
assumed he spilled it on the victim, you know?
The only piece of evidence we didn't use yet.
Well, what could it be, guys?
Right. You just tipped the bottle over.
God. The bottle was where the bleach came from, sure, but I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder.
Although,
Maybe it was that bucket you were talking about.
to be fair, in the first game, they're like, do we even know she was killed by a knife? They're like I remember they asked really stupid stuff in the first trial. You're like, yes, she was killed with the knife.
The freaking knife.
The bloody knife.
Spell?
And they're like, but where did the knife come from? And they're like, there was one missing in the kitchen. They're like, how do we know if that's true? And then someone was like, well, I did see 5 knives in the kitchen. Then after she walked in, there was only 4. Like, all right, I believe it. It was the kitchen knife. Like, fucking 3 pieces of evidence.
God.
So, I guess this isn't too bad.
We're stupid. When we found it, it was neatly ordered on the shelf near the back of the closet. Gun and knife were just thrown on the floor, so it's weird the weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure, where the actual murder took place, I'd say.
You're the guy who saw the empty bottle of bleach.
And what is this something else? Go on, explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
Grace, girly.
She's really stubborn about this, but I get the point she's trying to make. Before we move on from this subject, we need to make sure its logic is completely sound. Alright then, let's put out this fire. Non-stop
What about
debate.
my fire mixtape?
Bucket.
Well, if the original bottle has been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container?
What about a container? There are a bunch in the closet. I bet the killer had a secret water gun. So when the victim came in, boom! He squirted her in the eyes.
Hey, the ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
To inflict those chemical burns, the killer had to use something, but what? So we agree with container using bucket.
Oh, bucket.
Let's see. Into another bottle?
No, that's wrong.
No.
I guess someone said container. He's got a point. The killer could have just put the bleach in another bottle.
Sorry, but I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. As far as I can remember, there weren't any other empty bottles at this crime scene.
Well, that's because it was full of bleach. Didn't use all of it, obviously.
Unless you have evidence to suggest otherwise.
Damn it! You got me! I messed up. Alright, so we have to wait till
Cool
the
it like I'm a gay.
container... till container's on screen. There it is. Bam. I agree with that. She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket. Or more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it. Yo, that makes sense!
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, cool. So how'd the killer use the bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so it's unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance. Use your brain, mate.
Of course. My apologies. It's a good question. How is the killer able to get a hefty bucket of chemicals into the victim's eyes? Definitely not the old open the door, fall on you trip.
Wonder.
Put it on top of the doorway. I saw it happen to Kakashi and Naruto with an eraser.
I saw it all the time in Yandere Simulator.
That's right. Especially without her knowing. There must be some kind of clue missing here. Think, Damon, think. Even if he did manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns. However, aside from her eyes, her face was relatively untouched. Well, if you check the tablet, it says she had burns to the scalp, too.
Burns to the scalp? How does that work? Unless those chemicals came from above?
Above? I never thought of that. Yes, that's right. Above!
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air? Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
Like a door. Where's this bucket supposed to be again?
Oh my god. Above, which, well, could mean anything.
Not true. Could not be below. And that's anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place for the killer to sit, there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Unless you take into account the size difference. The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it could still support something as small as a bucket.
And that thing supporting the bucket?
The killer wanted two things: for the bucket to be above the victim, for it to spill on her when she entered the room. In other words, he needed to balance the bucket, but on what? Door. D-O-O-R. Stepladder.
Whoa, either the door or the
Bounced on a
stepladder.
knife.
That'd be fun. I got it! Stepladder was a red herring. I don't know how we overlooked this. I didn't, but I got it. The killer just bounced the bucket on the door.
Like those water bucket pranks people film? I love those. I make them all the time.
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her. This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant. When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That explained why we found it a couple feet from the victim. That is a possibility, yes.
Sounds like the best conclusion. There's just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high?
Stepladder.
Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
I mean, doors aren't that tall. Well, let's use this as our next point in discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
Stepladder.
Was it with the ladder that isn't a ladder, it's a step ladder?
Yeah. To balance that bucket on the door, the killer would need to reach pretty high. Was there anything at the crime scene they could have used as a boost? If I can answer that, it'll add further credibility to my theory. It was the mop.
It was the knife.
I got it. It was the knife. They used the knife to stab into the wall and scale up the wall. There's a stepladder hiding behind the closet door. The killer probably used that. After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door.
Figures. My precious stepladder! You think the bad guy used my super duper obvious stepladder?
Match point. Occam's razor. Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety. No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
Or they just, reached up and put it up there.
It was only a knick-knack of its kind, too. There's something else that a killer could have used. It's escaping me.
I see, I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far. But I'm not done yet. I still have one last question for you apes.
Apes? We're the one with the answers. You're the one asking questions.
Please just leave us alone. I'm so tired.
Real.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was the killer doing with when the bucket was poured onto the girl's head?
Waiting to shank with a knife. You obviously didn't just stand there and observe. I have to agree. They must have been hiding somewhere, waiting for her to arrive. Possibly that closet? Somewhere nearby, I'd assume. Not the closet,
In the
but
closet?
yeah, the cabinet thing. As it was across from the door. Where's the killer hiding? Outside the janitor closet. On top of the door frame, behind the door. Behind the door or in the back of the closet?
I feel like back to the closet's the answer, but behind the door also makes sense.
Yeah.
Or even like in front of the door. Because it's not like she's gonna see, she's gonna get blinded by the freaking bleach. So it doesn't really matter where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe behind the door, because it conceals more.
Yeah, versus just being in the open, because then she could have just shot.
Mm-hmm.
What about behind? I guess it wasn't. What about behind the door? The killer could have hidden
Yeah, I
there as
wasn't
the
sure how
girl
much
entered.
space there was.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the stepladder be in the way? There's
I don't
more
know, I
room
forgot.
than just that.
That's how the. I mean, I'm trying to picture the room, but I guess I don't know. I don't think the stepladder was that big, but sure. She's right. What was I thinking?
Yeah, dum-dum.
Maybe it was outside. Who knows? I got it. I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet because if he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim. I say a diagonal because that's the only way he could make a direct charge forward. I mean, there's plenty of room behind the door, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really
You could just move
get...
the stepladder.
Or he could just stand on the stepladder.
Yeah, I don't really get this question, but okay. Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest. I mean, once she's blinded, yeah, it doesn't matter what he does.
Creating the crime scene we found. Great job, guys. We're actually doing this.
It was the last mystery, right? We must put everything together now.
Even if it's fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
Huh? Why'd the music get so eerie?
Well, technically she is, but...
Because she had an assault rifle.
Let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun. She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted. No?
That's no excuse.
What?
There's no justifying murder. Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
I don't know about that.
I mean, they can also commit genocide, but whatever.
That includes killing women.
No.
I rest my
Genocide could just
point.
be men.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
There's no excuse. There never was an excuse. 28 stab wounds. No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
She's a mannequin.
Wait, who's Kara?
Girl.
It was the victim's name. Didn't anyone read the tablet?
I agree with you, dude, but you don't have to shout at your point. Oi, what's this about? We figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No, we're not finished here. There's no murder without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case. We aren't looking for a murderer. We're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion. This isn't about efficiency. This is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
What the hell?
Let's just talk about the motive. There's no harm in doing that, right?
Well, what was the motive? Was the killer fighting for their life, or were they going out of their way to murder? Maybe the gun freaked him out.
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous. Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
Given the severity, I'd liken it to a crime of passion. Something done on impulse.
What if they were frightened? The spooky thing might have set them off big time.
That's wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense. No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands. Yo, bud, you seem a little pressed. Silence! I won't allow this! Good time to change approach to pathos mechanic. Purple text. Pathos statements. You can absorb these pathos statements by hovering over them with E. The pathos statement will then be loaded into your truth cylinder. Find a weak spot that is directly contradicted by a pathos statement and fire. Okay. Well, you'll always be able to advance using pure logic. Emotional arguments can lead to unique conversations. Okay. Tablet. To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this!
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest!
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense. You don't even know the dang killer. How am I?
I don't even know. This killer,
Behind
dead
something?
or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
I am justice.
How can we something? There's no reason to trust you, lawyers and intuition. If you have no proof.
Says the ultimate liar.
Was this murder justified? Or was it truly unforgivable? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth. Okay, so we can use lawyer's intuition to shoot something. Sadistic killing. Oh, that's an agree statement, so we can agree with them, I guess.
But you gotta contradict it.
Yeah, we can agree. So it's probably that one. It goes really fast. We agree with her. Crime scene.
Just the crime scene they left behind.
Like, I don't even know what lawyer's intuition does.
How can we do that?
Trust you. Huh.
Wait, so what's the lawyer's intuition bullet say?
I don't
We're supposed to agree with something?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And it won't tell us what it says. So, I'll just try agreeing with the ultimate liar. Because her statement goes really fast. So I'm like, maybe that one's it. That's my only guess. He says that. Should make a lot of assumptions at the killer's morals. And then it just like drops down. No. Was not that. Sad. Violet, it's your character.
I'm glad you agree, but how does this prove anything? I don't know if you want me to read those.
Yes. I made a mistake. Okay, we still have lawyer's intuition. I guess let's just agree with him, because I don't know. I don't really understand this one. We agree with him.
I don't see how that relates to his point.
I made a mistake. We're gonna get a game over.
He doesn't seem like the ultimate debater.
Yeah, really. So, the ultimate liar says something that, along with when we stole a lawyer's intuition. So maybe we shoot her statement with that.
Oh, we already did.
No, we did that one.
Yeah, we did that one. This one, crime scene. I'll just shoot it. I don't know.
What's wrong with that? Is there a second crime scene only you know about?
I need to think this over. So you guys
Yeah, we need to agree with
understand?
something.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know what lawyer's intuition refers to.
Yeah,
Is it just like the stuff he believes in?
I guess that he thinks it was a sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest. That's his intuition. What else do we have? She says they left behind the crime scene. This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice. And then she says something in yellow here. No reason to trust you. I disagree, I guess. I don't know. I'm just glad we survived the round. Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer.
Say what?
Wolfgang has spent his life in the courtroom and on the crime scene. He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine. He was even emotionally invested in a murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree. We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent. Well spoken. If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
Yeah, Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Let's trust in this lawyer and his bargain bin buddy.
Hey!
If it means going home, then the news guys convinced me.
Right on! Team Wolfgang all the way! Thank you all for your support. Well, Eva, do you still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing.
Does this mean we're done here? Hey, we're disembodied voice. We figured out your stupid case. Now let us leave. Me.
Huh? Oh, you're finally done. In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me. I have a short attention span. I need some subway surfer on the side.
This Monokuma was raised on TikTok.
Get some Markiplier jingle jingle.
So, just for my own benefit, why don't you summarize the information you've learned?
No.
It'll be good practice.
Time for the final thingy where you make the comic strip. Hopefully. Practice. Fine, I'll do as you ask. I'll present the truth.
We'll present the truth together.
Let's dig into it.
Yay, comic thing. Hell yeah. The closing argument. Switch pages is Q and E. Navigate stock panels. Insert panel. Okay. That's cool that they made the little comic thing. Stand up straight and fix that tie. Time to close the case. What was the victim carrying? An assault rifle, but all we have is going up the stepladder in the janitor's closet, opening the door. Where did the killer hide? In the janitor's closet.
Yay!
Next page. How did the killer reach the door frame? With the stepladder. This is like Dora the Explorer.
Can you see the orange triangle?
What did the killer pour into the bucket? I don't have
Bleach.
that. How's the trap triggered? It was
Opening the door. Muy bien.
It didn't unlock. Okay, there we go. Like, why isn't it unlocking things? Okay, assault rifle. So we can. What was the victim carrying?
An assault rifle.
And then bleach. What did the killer pour into the bucket?
Bleach. I love Rukia.
Heck yeah. Owie. What did the victim do when they were stabbed?
Flying at
Die.
Killer's neck.
Hi. I
mean,
got
that
it.
too.
The victim was Kara Koskinen, the ultimate teacher's aide. Right before her death, she was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably when our unnamed killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her and decided he'd put her to eternal... Oh no, who's Ingrid?
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest.
slid inside that little janitor's closet where he began hatching a deadly scheme.
Aye, there needed a way to surprise the victim who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket. Who's that?
Laurel.
Pink girl question mark? That's because they wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her eyes. Sneaky little bastard.
Who's that?
But to do that, they'd need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise. Killer's motive moved a stepladder behind the closet door and climbed up to reach the door frame. There, they carefully placed the bucket. That way, when the victim opened the door, the bucket would be empty as the contents poured all over her.
Who's Cassidy? I don't
That
know.
way, when the victim opened
I
the
don't know
door,
any of these
the bucket would
characters.
empty its contents all over her.
I know Grace. That's
Yeah,
it.
me
That's
too.
it. Oh, this one's the owl. After
Yeah.
completing this setup, the killer retreated to the far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival. The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention. Either way, the victim tried to open the door. What if the bucket fell on the other side of the door?
Right?
Who's this?
The bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burned.
Youch! Shink. The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking Kara. In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails. However, it didn't deter the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information to reveal the killer's true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten. That is the truth behind this case. Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3 acts? Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Who the hell is...
No one cares! We've done your end of the bargain. Now let us out already.
That is what I promised, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room. But before I do, may I be frank with you all for a second?
No, you may be Monokuma.
This entire time, I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it.
Imagine it's like a really buff man
It's a buff man with
Monokuma's voice.
However, in my head, it raises a compelling argument. Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while?
It's a man with a deer skull head.
Yes. Let's do away with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
Face to face?
What was that all about?
Everybody look over there!
Oh, oh, he's hideous. It's
Monokuma. Wait, it is a man.
Monokuma. Go to Kuma. It's Obito. I mean, it's Madara.
No, Doves can voice him.
No, that's Monokuma.
That's Monokuma, but
Oh.
I mean, if you don't really want,
Since the walls have finally crumbled and it doesn't look like Monokuma. What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure this new land? Serve it? Or will you set it ablaze? Well, peasants, have you made your choice?
yo, what the fuck is going on? This person, his voice.
Are you the speaker guy?
Speaker guy?
He's gray.
Oh, no, no. You don't address your superiors like that. Within the halls of this academy, you'll refer to me by my one name and one name only.
Monokuma.
His Highness the Great and Powerful Tozu, host of the Killing Game.
That doesn't spell Monokuma.
Wait a minute.
It's
It's just an
shortened.
anagram of
Oh, okay.
Monokuma. Killing game. Tozu, which turns into Otozi. It's Obito in disguise.
Ozu Monokuma.
Whoa.
Obi-Tobi.
Obi-Tobi.
Or you can call me Tozu for short.
Didn't you say that's what your name was?
Wait. That's not me
Uh,
speaking.
Huh? I think they just got the
That's-
name thing wrong. Hey, what do you mean killing game?
I think they
What?
messed up
They-
a little bit.
Yeah, they messed up
You really
Tozu.
think the story would end once we reach a climax of the case?
They fooked it up. That's okay.
They fooked it up. It's alright.
Quite the contrary. This is only the beginning.
Of what?
Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates, are going to kill each other.
Unless this is like a red herring where you think it's a mistake, but in actuality, they're all him. Because this guy is him too, huh?
I think
no.
I think they just messed up the naming thing for this part.
Glitched out.
Mhm.
That's not.
That's not funny.
But you said we could go home if we solved the mystery.
I gave you peasants an incentive. It's not my fault you took it the wrong way.
What are you talking about? You lied to us.
Lied? Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm a fair man, a man sworn to the truth, and if I recall correctly, should you all agree on the right answer, blah blah blah.
It's
No
auto.
one cares. Then you let us out.
But I promise, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room.
It auto did that. I didn't touch
I
anything.
specifically said you could leave this room, not go home.
No, you said place. You sneaky son of a bitch.
You're full of shit, man. Like, what the Sigma?
What did you say? There you go, losing control of your voice. That's how you know you've lost the argument.
Let's just kill this guy and go home.
Yeah, he's right there. Get the gun.
Unless he's a
Logic is a
robot.
cowardly thing like that. It'll jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge.
That's why you need the Monokuma robots, because otherwise you just kill the mastermind.
Junko.
He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies. So when he said this was Eden's Garden Academy, Queen never lie. Bullshit! What am I doing believing someone like him?
I took a picture of Bear today, and he kind of looked like the Queen Never Cry meme.
Oh no.
Oh no, the little baby.
We never meow.
Queen Never Meow.
There's no other way around it. He's lying!
Hey, why didn't you tell us about your dumb game sooner?
You gooner. And watch you peasants run away. I can't host a game without any contestants.
Please don't do this. I just want to go home. I just want to be with my family. Please, just let me go home.
There's no need to cry, Miss Talner.
Huh?
We're all civilized here. No one is going to kill simply because they've been ordered to.
What's this? The peasant has a rebuttal?
A match between unprepared, unfit players. You could hardly call that a match. In much the same way, this game you proposed, a killing game between students who don't have the heart to kill. Do you seriously think we'll abandon our morals so quickly?
Yeah, it's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't know what it takes to do something like that.
My heart is terribly soft. Softer than most delicate piece of mochi. When I see a fly in my room, I catch the poor dear in a jar and return her to nature. My mochi heart would melt otherwise.
I see. That's your argument, is it? So, what has you so convinced?
What do you mean?
What makes you think the people in this room lack the heart to kill? You even know anything about them besides their name and ultimate talents? If you do, then tell me, regarding killing, where do they stand? Are they okay with murder if it's for the greater good? Are they okay with murder if it guarantees their survival? Is where they currently stand on the issue the same as where they're willing to stand? Go on. You had a couple hours to get to know everyone. That's plenty of time to learn their life stories, right? Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise! Not! You wouldn't be here all dressed up in that fancy suit if you were so naive. Oh, and one more thing. That trial you just did, that was your preparation for the killing game.
How? All you did was make us play detective.
And for good reason. If one of you is killed, the remaining students will participate in the true class trial. Your objective here is simple. Uncover the culprit, if you can. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue who you believe committed the murder. The result will be decided by popular vote, and if you choose the right person, they alone will be executed, and the killing game will continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will be set free, and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Everyone understand?
All of us will be executed? That's not fair!
Really? I think it's one of our most beautiful rules. Everyone has an incentive to participate in the game, innocent or otherwise.
That's insane. You're treating us like pigs to slaughter.
Nonsense. All of you have the chance to survive this game. Do you think the common butcher is so merciful? By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, the killing game will end when there are only 2 students left. You may want to remember that. Or maybe you don't care. Depends on what kind of person you are.
Out of the
Out of the
16
16
people here,
Oh,
only 2 would be allowed to survive?
how they fixed it.
Yeah. Yay.
That's hardly better than if someone gets away with murder.
I know! That's what makes it so funny! Most of you will die no matter what, and yet, with every passing trial, you'll all cling to life more desperately. And that exact mindset is what causes more murders to happen. Aren't these rules simply brilliant? A perfect test of the limits of human compassion? I can't wait to see all of you in action. More laughing, yay! Ow!
The madman's loud, tinnitus-inducing laughter was suddenly cut off by a well-timed strike from behind.
Who spanked me?
Get wrecked, noob. I said it a million times. It made you fuck not much. What? I want nothing to do with this stupid game.
I guess Grace will die now.
Ow! Since you made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with.
Do you even listen to when I talk?
No.
I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are. Ouch!
Grace drove her fist directly into his stomach. Maybe we should all join her and beat him up, but nah, we'll all just watch. She followed it with another blow, and another. When it looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until he was dead, I saw it. From out of nowhere, a tiny red dot appeared on Grace's face.
Uh-oh.
Hey, stop already! There's a... But before we could do anything... Bye, Grace. The sound of a gunshot echoed in our ears.
No way.
Oh, phew.
Oh, okay.
Close one. I was like, not Junko again. Grace released the man from her grip. Speechless, she moved her hand to her cheek, which had been nicked by the stray bullet. I mean, sure, if you have a perfect sniper covering you, I guess that's a reason you could show up here. The ultimate sniper. ...
Thank you, my Squid Game lackeys.
Oh, it's a cool lady.
Whoa!
We all looked in the direction the shot
Booga
came
booga.
from.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The shooter stood silently by the pillar, a trail of smoke rising from the mouth of her rifle. Okay, so we just need to kill her, then we can kill Tozu.
On her, what's his name? Tofu?
Yeah, Tofu. Her mask.
Kill her first.
Joke's
and then
on
kill
you.
Tofu.
I have a million other people.
We just keep killing this chain of people. We don't have to kill each other. We'll just gotta kill these guys.
Yeah, he doesn't seem that strong.
He seems pretty weak. If someone attacks her, pour some bleach on her head. I saw someone with a gun get taken out with less.
Exactly.
Her mask. The design.
You told us how to do it.
Yeah. Someone should have brought the assault rifle with them. Hercules
Right.
said it was loaded. Someone should have grabbed the knife.
Also, that one guy literally has a bow and arrow with him. He can just shoot her.
I'm wondering, they have the animal masks. Maybe these two survived a different killing game?
They have.
Maybe they were the two that made it. I'm one since it's the rules of two people can win. Maybe they won the game and now they're forced to keep the game going. That's my first theory.
Just like my ship in Squid Game.
The design was a panther instead of a goat, but it was clear that she was working with him.
You shot at her.
It's getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
It's a Star
A
Wars.
whole hop to him.
It's a Star Wars Episode 1 quote, literally word for word. Everyone's
Well,
slowly.
she's a gamer.
Yeah, so it makes sense. It's when Darth Maul shows up for the first time. Then the guy's like, this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Because first was just Darth Sidious, and then Darth Maul showed up. Everyone slowly backed away from Tozu, suddenly fearful for their lives.
What a shocking and unnecessary display of violence.
Just like Chainsaw Man.
You think?
I was talking about the golfer woman. Well, now that we've become acquainted with our enforcer, Mara.
The sister of Kara. I don't know.
If any of you kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as by attacking me, she'll be there to put an end to your shenanigans.
Let's just team up and kill her.
Honestly, we have 8 versus 1, 8 versus 1. We can just end the game now. This is kind of silly. It's kind of why you need a robot to be the proctor. Even though she misses her shots.
Yay.
Oh.
That was just a warning. I assure you, it'd be unwise to further test her sharpshooting ability.
Guy with the arrows.
An ultimate sharpshooter.
Guy with the arrows. Shoot her now. Regardless, I finally have an answer to your previous question.
Meh?
You asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents. Truthfully, I don't. But I'll continue to trust them as if I do. Because they're ultimates. Huh? This guy's gonna get killed first. They are charged with the betterment of society. They've proven themselves to be above simple acts of self-interest.
But these guys are ultimates too.
Ooh, that's what they don't know yet. We will not succumb. Even if you trap us, fire guns at us, and force us to endure farcical courtroom procedures.
He's right.
Grace was trying to compose herself, still clearly shocked by her run-in with death.
No matter how weird these guys are, they're talented. Do you really think the ultimate would fall for this bullshit? That's right. My friends and I have too much to live for and too much to achieve. We won't throw it all away for your killing game.
We're all going to escape. We have to. Together, we are FNAF.
One by one, the students raised their voices in solidarity with Wolfgang. All of them were so confident in what they were saying, so willing to blindly put their faith in each other. And for some reason, it made me sick.
Never underestimate the strength of human connection. I am quite familiar with this idea.
What kind of captain would I be if I can't even handle a small crew of 15? What is this horrible feeling of contempt? Why do I feel this way when everyone else seems so hopeful?
You're full of despair.
The voice inside me was answered by another.
You've got it all wrong.
The students turned their attention towards Eva, surprised by her words. Eh?
Do you actually believe no one here will try to kill? You're really naive. I don't know how you made it as a lawyer.
Well, instead of resorting to random ad hominem attacks, why don't you explain your reasoning?
It's obvious. Compared to normal people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. Living with constant praise from the public has ruined our sense of self. If you need examples, just look around the room. Excuse me? In the outside world, ultimates will do anything to further their own goals. The same is probably true here. Once you realize your dreams can only be achieved if you escape, you'll resort to murder. If you continue to convince all of these people to trust each other, they'll only be more vulnerable. Unless that was your plan all along. Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable? So that it'll be easier for you to kill them?
That's
enough.
Suddenly, Ingrid stepped in front of Wolfgang protectively.
Wolfie's done nothing wrong. He's given us all a vote of confidence.
Yeah. It's something we all needed. So stop trying to turn us against each other. Please.
Horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students admonished Eva. It grew stronger and stronger, and I knew I had to say something. Eva's right.
Huh?
Damon, not you too.
Look, I get it. You want to make the situation less scary for everyone. But Eva made a good point. All of us have a clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of other people's lives. Whether it's to see our families again, or for the sake of our talents.
No, I would never kill anybody. Totally, I believe you.
Diana, you yourself admitted you had too much to achieve. Don't you see how that's playing into the masked man's hands? This whole we're all ultimates thing is pretty inane anyways. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of us have the same goals. What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to improve the world we live in? His question angered me more than anything that had been said before. I could no longer suppress my true feelings. Look, the title barely means shit nowadays, alright? Most ultimates are just dullards obsessing over some pointless hobby. Their talents don't contribute. Their towns don't contribute anything to worth. They're useful for making laws and politics. Definitely not the ultimate politician. The only thing they're capable of is leeching off public attention for their own goals.
Ouch.
And he's right. Gamer, DJ, Elon Musk over here.
You've got to be kidding me. Running a business that feeds millions is pointless.
Some of you are an exception, obviously. But come on. There's no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in with your niche fixations. Don't you mean rest of us? You're an ultimate too.
Yeah, what the hell makes you so special?
I could feel their words worming their way into my soul. What makes you so special?
I'm not okay.
Well, I can actually achieve many things with my talent. I can argue policy, consider ethics and morality. Better yet, I was the one who got you guys through that trial.
Is that really what happened? I remember all of us helping out.
Yo, I see what's going on. You think you're better than us just because you can say words nobody understands? Well, that kind of stuff is relative. Like, tell me what a dragster is. Do you know?
Watch your step, lest you trip and fall from the unparalleled heights of your vanity.
I'm disappointed in you. Oh, you're so concerned about making yourself look good when we're in the middle of a death game.
Wait, I wasn't trying to... It was no use. They turned against me, hurling obscenities, scowling, or simply shaking their heads.
You. Do I sense anger, hatred, an unquenchable sense of bloodthirst? Well, see that for later. I'm the only person who can spill blood in the courtroom. The elevator will take you back to the killing game arena. We've cleaned up the crime scene and prepared a dorm room for each of you.
Thanks. Now can you get lost?
Okay.
He returned to his podium, with the masked woman trailing closely behind. The bizarre mechanism that brought him into the room lowered the two of them into the ground and out of sight. All your characters.
Really great at dialogue. Still, we're not gonna kill anyone. Right, guys? No matter what happens, we're all going to make it out of here, okay? See, my theory about her is because she's like a chameleon. She's like blends into the background so you don't suspect her. But she won't kill someone.
Yeah. And maybe Eva's thing about Wolfgang was going into your original theory. It was only when the madman had left that reality truly began to set in. I'm trapped in a killing game with people who despise me. How? How did this happen?
Maybe if you didn't provoke them.
Right?
It's all because they were all targeting Eva. So he went to her rescue and then they all just jumped
Don't
him.
be a simp, man.
And he chose the wrong path because she didn't back him up. I just wanted to help. I wanted to make sure we didn't trust each other too easily. And now, I'm being treated like the bad guy. Will these people practice what they preach? Will they really refuse to kill? I can't trust anyone here. For better or for worse, it's me versus them. So cue the beginning of the end. The beginning of an unfathomable nightmare, an unrelenting despair. The beginning of the killing game.
Danganronpa.
You can't say that. That's copyright.
Oh shoot.
Whoa.
That's so pretty.
It disappeared on its own. I wanted to look at it more.
I screenshotted it.
Oh, nice. To be continued. Yeah, that
But don't
looks
we
like...
have the first chapter, or was that it? No, we have another chapter, right?
Do
Is
we?
there?
Yeah, because that was the prologue.
Oh, sweet. Save that for next time.
Pro and... Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's why
Chapter
the game
1.
became popular, because Chapter 1 dropped.
Yeah.
That's why Violet brought it up.
Ooh, I love drawing like this.
So that's the two people that are in charge. Whoa, an opening.
What the heck? You guys put so much effort into this.
It's crazy.
Dude, this looks dope.
Spooky, scary skeletons. Damon Maitsu.
I don't know what her name is. Desmond Hall. Eloise Tonner.
Toshiko Kaira.
Ulysses Wilhelm.
Winona.
Wolfgang
Diana
Akire.
Venezia.
An apple. Where's Ryuk?
Yeah, this is our Death Note. I see Bible
Justice!
imagery, I think Death Note.
Jet Dawson!
5 months ago.
Ingrid Grimoire.
Jean!
Grace Madison.
Cassidy Amber.
Monokuma.
Mara.
Hmm. Uh.
So long. Farewell.
Project Eden's Garden.
10 out of 10. Good job, guys.
Chapter 1, Beneath the Veil of Hypocrisy. Dang. So we still got probably like 2 to 3 episodes of this.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
Thanks, guys. And then when Violet's game comes out, we can play that one.
What game?
I wonder.
The game that can't run on any human computer.
No, the other one.
The other one.
Hold on. I'll find it.
Another Violet game. How many are there?
Yeah. She's cool
One.
and everything. Don't you know?
Tattletale?
I mean, yeah.
Or she voiced the Furby?
She did voice the Furby.
Barbie.
Had her favorite catchphrase.
You wanna play with me?
Yeah, that one. And that's what she says whenever she's hungry.
Give me a treat.
That's the only quote I remember.
Give me a treat.
Can't wait to see all these people get murdered viciously in this picture.
Me too. They're so pretty.
Who will the last two be?
hungry.
Do we think Mr. Protagonist is gonna survive?
Yeah, I don't think they would kill off a male protagonist.
I'm like, yeah, it's like everyone hates him now, so it's like, will he die? That's
But
always
who would he be replaced with? Probably Eva, whatever her name is.
yeah, replaced by her.
Mr. Lawyer guy.
Yes, the
The
lawyer.
lawyer.
Wolfgang.
Oh.
What? I'm like, is
It
Wolfgang...
Wolfgang
does
gang.
look like Shuichi.
It's like, is Wolfgang gonna make it to the end? Or is he gonna be the first killer? And Eva's theory was right. I think Wolfgang is the first killer, or he gets killed near the end, or is the last killer.
Have we had a protagonist that's like also the mastermind?
Yes.
Mm,
But that's spoilers.
oh yeah, huh?
We have. Don't worry,
Oh, I don't know if
that
audience. Go
counts,
play
though.
Danganronpa. Hmm?
I don't know if that counts though.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Well, I can explain it off camera, I guess. Because we don't want to spoil one of the great Danganronpa games for the audience.
Go play all of Danganronpa and then come back.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, go do that. It was, I'm gonna spoil the ending of one of the Danganronpa games, so if you didn't play all three of them,
Danganronpa.
because I'm not
What
gonna
about
spoil which one.
Ultimate Despair Girls?
If you didn't play that one, it's fine. I barely remember what happens in that
Wow. We gotta play that because my girl is one of the main characters.
one. Yes. Toko Fukawa.
Love her.
Get ready, audience. Spoilers in... Wait, Violet, have you played all three of them?
I've watched all of them.
Okay. Then get ready, audience. Spoilers for one of the main games.
I haven't, but I already spoiled myself, so it's all good.
Hajime set up the killing game
Yeah, yeah.
in the second one.
Whoa.
'Cause
But he didn't know though, didn't he?
he hacked the system with the Junko virus.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
isn't the second game like it's not even real?
Yeah, they all get their memories wiped, but he's the one that caused it to happen before it started. So that is where you had the you were the mastermind and you were the ultimate unknown. 2-for-1 deal. An audience, if you didn't know that, I warned you many times. You shouldn't still be here. But if you do know,
Everybody blame him.
it'll be like, I didn't play that game. I was looking forward to it. I think I warned them 3 times that I was gonna spoil at least
Maybe
twice.
you should have warned them a 4th time.
4 times the charm.
Oh boy. Whoopsies. Let's see. Looking at these people, maybe the ones you least suspect will live will be the ones that make it to the end. Because it is a fan game, so that means they don't have to adhere to the regular game design of like the official publishers. Like we could just kill all the main characters.
That K-pop star to survive.
Junpei.
And that's all I care about. I like Pink Hair Girl, but I think she's gonna be a killer, so
Yeah. Yeah, each of us let's all choose one of our characters that we think will make it to the end. So
I want Toshiko,
K-pop.
who's that?
the matchmaker.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Toshiko.
Yeah, they wouldn't kill a child, would they?
But would a child
Yoko.
kill someone else? What was the other one you said?
Unless they pull a Hiyoko.
Yes. You're already in spoil. If I spoil the end of the second game, audience, deaths in the other games will get spoiled too. Don't worry
Who's
about it.
Hiyoko?
That's the girl with from the
Pigtails.
second game. She wears the I can't think of the word for it right now.
She has a kimono.
Kimono, thank you. She has the orange kimono, blonde hair. She's a child. But then, spoilers, she's a woman in the real world.
What?
Huh?
Because she's a child in the simulation, but in the real world, she's tall. She's not a child in the real world.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Yeah, it's just for the simulation, they
I was so
reverted.
confused. I was like, is this a woman jump scare?
They reverted back to their old selves before they became the Ultimate Despair. So that's back when she was tiny. But then puberty hit her like a truck when she was an Ultimate Despair, I guess. I forget. And it was because it was like first they were the Ultimate Despairs, but then Danganronpa, the anime came out to finish off the trilogy story. So it was like they're like, we're gonna make a past arc about the Ultimate Despairs, and then I kind of like retconned what people thought was their backstory. It's a little mixed. It's a little confusing. Because it was like they all became Ultimate Despairs over this one thing. It's like, oh well. We thought it was more nuanced than that, but yeah, sure, I guess. Sure. My character's obvious choice would just be the protagonist lives. But character I would least expect would be Jet to live.
I want him to live. I like him.
I would least expect him to live, so just me saying that, maybe he'll make it. I think lawyer and protagonist are the two most important characters I have, but watch lawyer kill protagonist in chapter 1 and then they're both gone. Then anything could happen.
What's her name? It's not Olivia. I keep thinking it's Olivia, but it's not.
Who?
Bunny girl.
Grace.
Grace. I feel like Grace is like a cockroach. She can't die.
Yeah, she's got protagonist staying power. She seems very important. So that's why when I thought they shot her, I was like, no. I was like, I like that character.
She's got the Junko. She's got the weird girl from
Miyu?
the third one. Yeah, she's got Miyu energy.
Yeah, it's Junko
Miyu better
plus
not
Miyu.
die. We haven't finished Danganronpa V3, but Miyu better not die. I like her too much.
She's crazy awesome. And she cusses a lot. Well, audience.
Grace is the mastermind.
Oh,
Again.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because like they didn't kill her.
But you had to have a warning. Like that's what they did for Mondo, because he was the first one to beat up Monokuma, and then it started beeping. Then they're like, "Quick, throw him!" And he's like, "That was a warning. If you attack me, you'll be killed." So then, Junko attacked second, and then it was like, "Well, you've been warned, so bye bye." So the next person to attack Tozu, spoilers, Mukuro.
Well, I don't remember Danganronpa. That game's weird.
It's pretty good.
We gotta finish anime.
Yes. Yeah, I like the word protagonist that everybody hates, because that's kind of the feeling you get when you're Makoto, because you're like, boy, I'm kind of a loser. And then with Hajime, you kind of feel it in one of the later chapters. And it's like, oh boy, everyone hates me. But then all the girls are like, no, we like you. The person that said they hate you is stupid. But I remember being real sad in chapter...
What about his boyfriend?
Even him, he was being weird. I forget, it's chapter 3 or 4 of Danganronpa 2, where all, like, stupid... the mechanic guy or whatever, he says something. He's like, you're the ultimate unknown, or you're like, we don't trust you. And then you're like, oh, nobody. And then Shiaki doesn't even hang out with you, and you're like, Shiaki. But then, so you go through that whole, like, investigating that place of, like, nobody likes me. And then Shiaki and all the girls are like, no, that's just how that moron feels. We all like you. And you're like, and then they're like, Hajime's gonna stay with the girls. All you stinky boys can stay here. Now you're like, yay, I have friends. That chapter's a roller coaster. Now you play his boyfriend for a short period. You have to do the old... That, I still can't solve that. That's like the hardest puzzle. You can just skip it. They're like, do you just want to skip this section? I'm like, yeah. It's too flippin' hard. One day I'll solve it. But yeah, I don't think you get to walk around as him. You're just stuck in an escape room playing as him.
Oh.
And I'm like, I just remember the escape room being really difficult. And I was like, I do not want to look it up. So I'm just going to skip it. Because I was like, I do not want to spoil. Like, I don't want to look up the answers for Danganronpa. I want to figure it out on my own. But it was too hard. Well, we're at almost 9 o'clock. So, audience, you got an almost 3-hour episode. And I think the first episode was something like that, too. I think the first one was like 2 hours 40 or something. Potentially. Allegedly.
Danganronpa takes a while.
Yeah. And that was just the prologue. Like 5 hours. Now we got chapter 1.
Then I got right to it. Because the prologue for V3 was like freaking 10.
Yes. Yeah, V3 took a while. And it didn't have a practice case, which I enjoy the concept of. I think that's fun that this game did, the practice case.
I prefer getting right into it, because then I can get attached to a character and then they die.
I like that we got to see all 16 of them in a trial, because you don't get that in any of the other games. Because there's always at least one person dead by then. So I do appreciate that we got all 16 of these guys in a trial to see how they act and stuff.
Yeah, sucks Byakuya died first in the second one.
Rest in peace, Byakuya, the ultimate Chad. He's like, I'll keep everybody alive. I've been through this before. I'll be the leader.
The ultimate rich bitch. He's just the ultimate rich bitch. And I love him for it.
Ultimate rich bitch went through his arcade guy arc.
No.
Oh my god.
He became a hero. And he got a fancy white suit like Colonel Sanders.
Arcade guy is a state of mind.
It's a state of mind. The rich bitch Byakuya from 2 was much more chill than the original.
That's why he's not the real one.
But he's just a better friend to be around. Original Byakuya, pretty cool, but Danganronpa 2 Byakuya, he's a bro.
Thought you didn't like Thought you didn't like Byakuya from the first one.
No, I do. I'm just saying when you play the game, it's one of those things where it's like a villain character who like joins a villain character from season 1 of a show who just joins the main group, and then for the next 10 seasons they're in the main character group. But then you go back and rewatch season 1, you're like, oh damn, this guy was like actually fucking evil. You're like, I forgot about that. He's different. In the anime it's very abridged, versus the game it's like he got frustrating because you're around him for 40 hours and he doesn't become cool until like 25 hours in. Then he's like, all right, I guess I'll work with you guys. Until then, he's just working against you, and it's like, ugh.
That's why he's silly.
Yeah, silly. Those characters. That's always the fan favorites. But then me as a player, I'm like, quit obstructing my forward path. My forward motion. But then that makes it all the better once he becomes good. Then you're like, yay, now he's my friend. And he was mean to me for 25 hours. But now he likes me. He really likes me. Well, I guess that's all the Danganronpa talk for now. Until next time, audience.
So long.
Farewell.
Farewell.